So we're all born with a soul, spirit, energy, chi, different words for that essence of who we are. In IBP terms, we call that the core self. And as little babies come in, we land in a family. That first family we call the primary scenario. And the primary scenario is, like I said, the original family that we are born into or land into. And based on what our parents received from their parents, who received from their parents, who received from their parents, when you bring that back down the line, people can give what they've received. And nobody can do that perfectly. I know I've tried to be a perfect parent, and I'm here to tell you it is impossible. So little ones get injured, whether it be on a continuum of either they don't get enough, they feel that fear of abandonment, or they get too much. Some people are just loved to death, and it feels suffocating or inundating, and we call that fear of inundation. So there's those two sides of the continuum where we really want to boil down our psychological injuries. That's where they land. So little ones come in to the world with an ability to protect themselves. And what happens when there's an injury from either too much or too little, we develop what we call character style. And the very first thing that little babies can do to protect themselves if they aren't getting their needs met in a way that feels good to them is they can energetically split off, space out, go away. It's designed to protect from feelings that become intolerable. Another stage, actually, a developmental stage, is about 18 months, 2 years. Children learn how to use the word no. And it can come out as no. And it's designed to push. It escalates a bit in the teenage years, and some people don't outgrow that automatic no. And that's when it starts to land in their life. So really the energy behind that becomes no. And it's a distancing behavior that's designed to help protect. Another way that we learn when we're young is we can get a fixed idea. It has to be done like this. It's always like that. So fixed ideas come from, again, from protecting. If one is treated like an object, meaning that their feelings aren't validated, they will learn to treat themselves or others as objects. Another piece of character style has to do with either lying up or lying down. And this is when there is a gap within what's authentic or what's true. So flavors of lying up, I think most people can flash back on people in their lives and remember somebody who was a know-it-all. It's that know-it-all quality that is the lying up feeling, and more of that victim feeling of I can't do anything that has to do with lying down. And then what happens in relationships is how much closeness does somebody want and how much space does somebody want. So how close or how far do we let someone in? And for most of us this changes, sometimes by the moment, but it will change. Sometimes it's, oh, come close, I want to let you in, oh, but that's close enough. Or that's, come all the way here, but oh, that's enough. Sometimes it can look like, oh, stay out, but really what I want is for you to come close. And it's that dance of how close and how far. One of my favorite things about this character style pillow is that it spins. Because most of us can find ourselves in several of these, if not all, of these different character styles. So this pillow, if you could feel it, it's firm, the material doesn't feel good, and a lot of this is designed really to help create space for oneself. So the next layer of our puzzle here is agency. Agency, it's just designed to try to kind of offset some of these rough edges of character style. But agency is it's a little trickier to talk about. It is a unilateral, one-sided contract that's unconscious and self-abandoning. But it's designed to give one the illusion of closeness. So how it might begin in childhood is, I'll be so good, just don't leave me. And I'll do anything. I'll put all your needs first so you won't leave me. So there's a little child who feels abandoned, and they become that really good little girl so that their parent, who isn't energetically present in some moments, will give them that feeling of trying to have that connection. And the last piece to this puzzle is a term coined by a British psychoanalyst, Michael Ballant, and it's called the basic fault. And what the basic fault is really it's what we make out of our earliest psychological injury. Flavors, everybody has a different flavor and aspect to their basic fault, but flavors of the basic fault are, I'm all alone, there's something wrong with me, I'm not lovable, I'm not wanted. And what we do is, as we go through life, that feeling is so familiar. It's like a veil goes up, and the world just looks different, as I'm assuming I look different to you through this video. And this basic fault piece holds what I like to call the muck, but how we've learned to protect ourselves from our old injuries. It just holds it together. Most people, when they come to my office, come in thinking that this is who they are because they've lost sight of this. It gets buried. So old protective ways that we've developed in childhood is who people start to think of that's them. So in IBP, what we do is we help to separate this out and help to strengthen this core self and help people learn how to live from here, to be more authentic, more alive.